Hi guys, Sandy Ingram here. Welcome. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about what happens to currencies globally when war breaks out. But first, I want to remind you that SpaceX IPO is supposed to happen before, well, very soon. And I have listed in the membership area how you can pre-buy SpaceX stocks before, or invest in the company because it's private now, before the actual IPO. However, you will need to join the channel's membership, $2.99 a month, to receive this information and more information on what we are doing financially and individually in the channel's membership. Now, moving right along, there is still major opportunity for global currencies. And as you know, when I am on vacation in these different countries, I always physically take some of the currency with me. My currency asset base has increased since the war in the Middle East started. So this is very, very true. Currencies fluctuate more when war breaks out. When war breaks out in one part of the world, most people immediately think about soldiers, weapons, and political tensions. But behind the scenes, something else begins moving very quickly, and that's currency. Currencies react almost instantly to conflict. And the reason is simple. War creates uncertainty. Investors, governments, and large financial institutions do not like uncertainty. When uncertainty rises, money moves, often very, very fast. It moves quickly. The first thing that usually happens is what economists call a flight to safety. This means investors begin moving their money out of currencies considered risky and into currencies considered safe. In the past, the safety currencies during global conflict have been the US dollar, the Swiss franc, and the Japanese yen. These currencies belong to countries with strong economics, stable financial systems, and deep capital markets. So when war begins, demand for these currencies usually rise. And when demand rises, the value of these currencies often goes up. And if you remember a couple of videos back, I spoke to you about how the CBI, the Central Bank of Iraq, said that they are not responsible for the gap, the major gap between the official IQD rate and the rate on the streets, because the rate on the streets has gone up because people are looking for, wanting US dollars. So that's proof of what I'm saying to you. At the same time, though, currencies in regions closer to the conflict often weaken. And well, why is it? Because war disrupts economies. Trade routes may close. Energy supplies may become unstable. Investors may fear that businesses will shut down or that governments will need to borrow massive amounts of money to finance the war. All of these factors can push a currency lower, the currency rate. Another major factor is energy prices. And we're having some conversation about, was this conflict pre-planned to cause energy crisis globally? Many wars, especially conflicts in the Middle East or regions near major shipping lanes, affect oil and natural gas supplies. There is an article on the blog that talks about how the technological elite in America may have influenced the president or helped him to come to a decision to start a situation where the Iranians would, in fact, shut down the Strait of Hormuz, and how that would affect energy globally. Now, that's not really a conspiracy, but it is a strong, strong possibility that that did happen. Central banks also play an important role during wartime. When financial markets become unstable, central banks may intervene. They may raise interest rates to defend their currency, or they may inject liquidity into the financial system to prevent economic collapse. Sometimes governments will even impose capital controls, limiting how money moves in and out of the country. Another thing that often happens during war is the rise in gold prices. And you know, I have been telling you guys over and over, I'm sick of even hearing myself say, buy gold. You can buy it 5, 10, 15, 20, 50, 100, 150, $200 a month on your debit card or your PayPal is how they're using it, is how they are selling the currency now. The link is in the description, and when you set up your $100 account, you will receive a financial gift. And this link is sponsored by the channel. Gold is not a currency, but it has a history of being viewed safe, a safe way to store a value during periods of geopolitical conflict. When investors become nervous about the stability of paper currencies, many move into gold. And when gold rises, it can signal growing fear in the global financial system. There is also a psychological element to currency markets during war. Markets often believe the war could spread to other regions, which it has already done in the Middle East, or disrupt global trade, currency. And so this also increases gold to, this also is one of the reasons gold increases. Exchange rates can swing dramatically within hours. For countries already struggling with weak economies, war can make things much worse. Their currencies may collapse. If investors lose confidence in the government's ability to stabilize the economy, yes, countries' currencies have collapsed before during war. History shows many examples of this. During major conflicts, currencies have experienced rapid devaluation, hyperinflation, or even, like I said, complete collapse. But there is an important point to remember, to understand. Not every war affects global currencies the same way. Small regional conflicts may have limited impact, but it looks like we have surpassed small regional impact at this particular conflict that we're experiencing right now, because Iran is sending armed drones to many different countries at the same time.